Today, I have a couple of really nice new saws from New Concepts, a coping saw and a titanium birdcage fret saw. If you're not familiar with New Concepts, they make the ultimate in coping saws and fret saws for woodworkers, jewelry makers, people that need to make really fine, detailed cuts. There's a couple of new versions that they've just released. This is a aluminum coping saw, and there's also a new titanium birdcage fret saw that comes in a couple of different depths. Let me go ahead and show you some of the innovative features on the New Concepts saws, and then we'll go ahead and, of course, make some cuts. The New Concepts coping saw measures about 6.5 inches from the blade to the top in terms of depth, and uses a standard 6.5 inch pinned coping saw blades. Now the truss design is actually updated from their previous versions, making it even stiffer. Of course, there's the tensioning mechanism, and I'll show you a close-up of that in just a minute. It uses standard pinned coping saw blades, so you can get a variety of different blades that you can easily pop in and out of here. A cool new feature on this saw is that you can rotate the blade every 45 degrees, and there are positive stops. So you can simply rotate the blade in any direction, and there are little stops every 45 degrees, so you rotate both ends, and you can adjust the blade positioning relative to the saw, and that's pretty cool. You can do that on the fly really easily. Let me go ahead and show you the blade tensioning system, which is obviously one of the best features about New Concept saws. You want to go ahead and first pop the pin blade here into the end, and then go ahead and tighten this nice brass knurled knob just until that blade won't come out anymore, so that it won't just pop out on you. Any tighter than that and you could damage the frame. At that point, this cam lock lever flips around, and this tensions that blade all the way across. So the cam lock swings all the way up, and boom, now your blade is nice and tight. You can, of course, micro adjust the knurled knob here to get slightly different tensions, and you can easily tension, untension, change your blades just by rotating that cam lock around. Fast and easy, and gets you super tight tension. Those are the main features here of the coping saw, and of course there's a nice handle which is easy to grip. Now this handle does have a little finish on it to make it look a little bit nicer, but it does make it a little bit more slick. So depending on how you like to use your saws, you might want to roughen that up or just use it as it comes. Now let's go ahead and move on to the fret saw, the Birdcage titanium fret saw, which has similar tensioning mechanism here at the end, but slightly different features since it uses a different blade. And of course you got titanium, and whoa, look at that birdcage. This here is the 5-inch titanium birdcage fret saw. It comes in 3 inches and also 8 inches, and these use a 5-inch pinless type blade. So you can see here that there are a couple of knurled knobs to lock in that pinless blade. Besides that, you can rotate these blades, and they rotate positive stops at both 90 and 45 degrees to the right and to the left. And you, of course, rotate that at both ends. So unlike the coping saw, which can go 45 degree stops all the way around 360, these have 45 degrees right and left only. Has the same kind of tensioning mechanism at the end here, the knurled knob to give you some fine tuning, and then a quick cam lever to go ahead and lock in the tensioning on your blade. Now, of course, it gets its name from the truss across the top here, which is a birdcage type of system, which gives you super strong tensioning across here. Really, you're not going to get any flexing in this titanium or this birdcage 3D truss system across the top of this fret saw. Similar handle to the coping saw. Again, it has finish on it, which makes it a little bit slicker, but has a really nice smooth feel to it. I really like what New Concept has done here in terms of changing this pinless blade. You simply unlock the knob at each end, one there, one here, and then that blade will just pop out of there. And you can easily change to various types of blades, etc. So that is really easy for changing out these blades just using these knurled knobs, which of course you can get a nice grip on that knob. The fit and finish on these new concept saws is awesome. I showed you some close-ups of the knurled knob, the tensioning system, the whole frame and the knobs, all the machining is really awesome. They feel great, they look great. Well, let's go ahead and put them to the test and make some cuts. I've got some 1/2-inch oak here, and I'm just going to go ahead and try making a bit of a cut along this and see how this coping saw does. So that went very quickly, very smoothly. There's a fairly aggressive blade, I would say, on this coping saw, but the finish is pretty smooth. Definitely could have done a little bit better doing my corners and stuff. You would think that this truss being way out here might really disrupt the weight, but it really isn't an issue. The whole thing is fairly light for being as big as it looks using the aluminum here. So I would say it's very easy to handle, very easy to control. Each stroke here was pretty aggressive in terms of moving forward through this material, but of course you can take your time. You can get a ton of different types of blades for the type of work that you're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and check out another typical application where you'd use one of these saws. Ever cut the waste out of dovetails? Let's go ahead and try this fret saw for this application here. That application again was very fast and easy using this fret saw. Now with the 5-inch version I was able to have the blade at 90 degrees and also get all the way into this pin here to remove it without the top hitting my wood. Of course you can rotate the blade 45 degrees very easily as I showed earlier, and that will keep the top of the saw out of the way. Now the tension I'm able to get on this blade, I'll try to give this a little finger prick here. As compared to my typical fret saw here, same exact blade, and this is about as much as I can tension this one. You can obviously hear a big difference in the amount I'm able to tension this blade using that new concept's tensioning mechanism. So those are the new concepts aluminum coping saw and Birdcage titanium fret saw. Now these saws are awesome, as I've shown you. The fit and finish is fantastic. They look great, but of course they're a premium saw and you're going to pay a little bit of a premium price for these saws. Now if you're just cutting out the waste of dovetails or doing general curve cutting, yeah, these are a little bit overkill for these types of saws. However, if you're doing really fine detailed work like marquetry or jewelry cutting, metal cutting, fine detailed stuff, the tension that you can get on these blades is fantastic, especially this fret saw here for that really fine work will give you some great results. The other thing is that these are awesome premium saws. I would definitely be hanging this on the wall behind me so it's easy to grab and it's beautiful to look at every day in the shop. So if you're into owning and using some premium tools, I would definitely check these out.